This is one major approach that was taken by Freud, analysis of dreams. In fact, good that once I have shared this, we have started exploring into our dreams. Like Monica Didi was sharing about her dreams, something which is unclear, and we can look into our dreams, something that keeps on coming up in our dreams, and we ignore it. But now we can study our dreams also. What is coming? Why is it coming? What is suppressed in my desire, in my thought, in my expectation, in my feeling, right? Which has not been fulfilled. Something that is frightening me, worrying me, causing anxiety in me, right? Troubling me, making me uncomfortable. Can we make it out? So let us use this theory to explore us further. At the base we have this understanding, right? Now with this understanding we can utilize all these theories for our further exploration, a deeper exploration. So a therapist asks a patient to describe a recurring dream about falling. So the psychodynamic application would be like the therapist analyzes the dream to uncover unconscious fears or hidden desires, possibly fear of losing control or insecurity. So maybe one has the fear of falling in the dreams. One has fear of sinking in water in the dreams, or getting hit by a vehicle in the dreams, right? Or losing a close relative in the dreams. All that is possible, isn't it? Many people have also cited that they get dreams of a fire catching up in the house or in some place.
Dog chasing.
Dog chasing, yes. Not now, after some time, yes.
You let me know when.
Sure. So the dreams are seen as the royal road to the unconscious mind. Symbols in the dream may represent unresolved conflicts from childhood, right? Then free association therapy. Example would be like during therapy a patient is encouraged to say whatever comes to mind without censoring. So the therapist is just asking the person to speak out, whatever comes to you. Don't mind, I will not mind anything, right? I will not censor anything, let it be good or bad. There could be so many things which we might not speak out due to social pressures or our own courtesy or our sense of discipline, right? But we are carrying that within. So there has to be some way of evaluating it. If I am not able to evaluate it, let me at least share it. So during therapy, right? So the application will be like the therapist listens to the hidden themes, slips of the tongue or recurring ideas. Right? Those spontaneous thoughts may reveal unconscious conflicts affecting the patient's behavior or emotions. So it may reveal some unconscious conflicts affecting the patient's behavior. So let's say in your you start talking to someone and there is some slip of tongue, right? Don't know exactly how come this slip of tongue happened, but there is some thought behind it, some feeling behind it, right? Some sanskar behind it, some conditioning there. Can we make it out? And I was mentioning that like in India we have that dynamic meditation, no? Where catharsis is there. So you just speak out whatever you feel. Pardon? Yeah, that is another way, hypnosis. Yeah.
Maybe it's for a
Yes.
investigation.
Yeah. So next would be like defense mechanisms in everyday life. So a person who was recently fired insists that the job wasn't a good fit anyway and shows no sadness. So for example, something happened which I was not expecting or not wanting to happen. So I am denying it, right? I am denying it somehow. So I am saying to myself that okay, it was not a good job anyway, and then I am not sad because of that. The application would be like the person is using rationalization as a defense mechanism to deny their self-esteem. Other defense mechanisms include denial, repression, projection or displacement. Right? This could be there. So for example, the child did not score good in the marks in the examination. So we generally tell that okay, doesn't matter, है ना? The paper was out of syllabus. That's how, and you are denying that you have failed in the examination. But to ourselves also we may do sometimes, isn't it? Many times if you look at these young boys and girls, no, they will have infatuation, and many times that will fail. So they will try to deny it. It was not because of me. The other person was not suited for me. Right? Pardon? Take a mic.
Previous example, they will deny that like they failed because of that infatuation. So they will find out other reasons.
Yeah.
That faculty haven't taught well, the notes is not given.
Yeah.
Nowadays students are asking notes from faculty, they don't have the habit of taking notes.
Yeah, and the worst part is if you are working on a blackboard with a chalk, you write for half an hour, they will come and simply click a photo. And their job is done. You are solving a numerical with so much of effort. They are not noting down anything. At the end of the class, they will simply come and click. They'll ask you to move.
They will write the same thing for 15-mark question and they will defend that you wrote only this much. So I wrote everything, all points are there, give all the 15 mark.
Yes. And nowadays, no, we have so many words to motivate them, like it's not the failure of the students, it's the failure of the teacher. So if they come and tell you, it is your failure, not mine. Yeah, you couldn't teach me well, isn't it? In fact, there was one problem when the students were being pressurized by the parents and the education system to perform, and they were having those psychological issues. Now, after this new education policy has come, no, so like they are getting promoted just by themselves. So many children are not studying at all because they are going to get promoted. And the parents are blaming the teachers that you are not teaching anything. Then the childhood experiences affecting the adult relationships, and adult struggles with trust in relationships. The application would be the therapist explores childhood attachment patterns. Perhaps the person had distant or unpredictable caregivers. Unresolved childhood experiences may explain current difficulties in forming secure bonds. So that could be again there. Many times we try to relate to the opposite gender for the sense of security. Maybe if the child did not have that kind of affection in the family, okay, then the child is expecting affection from friends, and particularly after entering the teenage, since that adolescent patterns are developing in the body, they will try to associate with the opposite gender. Just for security, that let somebody accept me, let somebody listen to me, isn't it? Let somebody take care of me. So all these may become prominent if not resolved. Then transference in therapy. So a patient begins reacting emotionally to the therapist as if the therapist were their parent or former partner. So he is complaining to the therapist himself. The application could be the therapist recognizes this as transference. The patient is projecting feelings from past relationships onto the therapist.
Since all these are mentioned as therapies, these are meant for patients alone.
Yeah, basically they have studied mostly patients. Yeah. And they are trying to project for a common public, but that may not be applicable to every human being also. That is the limitation of this theory. So analyzing this can help the patient resolve old conflicts. For example, you try to console a student and then the student gets angry with you, right? His wounds have got uncovered. Then anxiety or depression linked to unconscious conflict. The example could be a person experiences unexplained anxiety. So the psychodynamic application could be like the therapist helps them uncover unconscious fears or repressed memories from earlier in life that may be driving the anxiety. By bringing these unconscious thoughts to awareness, the person can begin to heal. That is possible. So when we are able to explore the unconscious thoughts and feelings and desires, right, if that gets somewhat resolved, we start healing. If that doesn't get resolved, then it may aggravate the situation also. That is also possible. Yeah, I think some more people were expected, no? I find that some people are not here. Had a heavy lunch. Classes started, okay. So they will miss out this part, no? That's what I'm thinking. Maybe, Bhaiya, you can talk to Supraja Didi if they can be able to come here. So how psychodynamic analysis applies? So focuses on unconscious mind, early childhood and inner conflicts. Helps people gain insight into hidden causes of emotional suffering. Commonly applied in talk therapy, counseling and analysis of dreams, behaviors and defense mechanisms. So you can see here that basically this whole theory primarily deals with the unconscious part of our imagination. Either it is individual or social. So commonly accepted unconscious thoughts or desires and at the individual level also. So famous case studies here and experiments. So there is one unconscious mind and repressed memories case study by Anna O. by Breyer and Freud in 1895. So the background is that Anna O, real name was Bertha Pappenheim, was treated for physical symptoms like paralysis, hallucinations and speech problems. So the treatment and findings were like symptoms reduced when she talked about her past traumatic experiences, the talking cure. Freud concluded that repressed memories from the unconscious were causing her physical symptoms. This became the foundation of psychoanalysis. So this was one case that he solved, right? So here again, like if there is some suppressed thought or desire, it can also lead to problems like paralysis or hallucinations. Hallucination is something is not there, but I am assuming it is to be there. Yeah. A famous story about hallucination is like Lady Macbeth. Those of you who have studied Macbeth, she found a dagger in the air. So that was one hallucination. Hearing voice or seeing something.
Seeing that 5 takes all that.
Yeah. That could be there. Something which is not there, you are assuming to be there.
Something is crawling, but it
Yeah, she found many times, no, blood on the hands. Like blood soaked hands she used to find because her husband had killed the King Duncan. So if you look at the treatment and findings, symptoms reduced when she talked about her past traumatic experiences, and Freud concluded that repressed memories from the unconscious were causing her physical symptoms. The key concept is unresolved unconscious conflicts and traumatic memories can cause psychological or physical problems. Daily life relevance, emotional symptoms like anxiety or phobias may arise from unprocessed past experiences. Modern therapies like psychodynamic therapy help people explore hidden feelings and memories to relieve emotional pain. So people are able to come out of this pain. In fact, when you are attending this UHV workshop now and you are exploring deeply into your natural acceptance and trying to validate in living, many of such things get naturally taken care of just by exploring within. So if not, then you can utilize these therapies or these tacts and techniques. Otherwise, just by self-exploration also, we can come out of that. For example, when I have the feeling of prosperity, the fear of losing wealth is automatically gone. When I have the clarity of self and body, the fear of death is gone. When I can see that intention of every human being is pure, the fear of losing respect is gone. Right? If I am not associating my respect to post or status, the fear of losing a designation is automatically gone. So that would be a kind of straight away method to resolve your issues. If not, we can utilize these methods also. But just by looking into your natural acceptance and developing this right understanding in yourself, right feeling in yourself, you can be able to come out of all these phobias. And phobia is nothing but fear which is very extended, somewhat deep, right? Why there is anxiety? Because we are trying to be happy by some outcome. If that outcome is not there, what will happen of me? So that causes anxiety. For example, if I do not clear in this examination, then what will happen of me, of my life? Then you have anxiety. If you are able to see that there are multiple ways to fulfill the need for physical facility, you will not be anxious at all. In my colony where I am living, one person appeared for UPSC examination in his 20s and could not clear. He appeared 3 times. He went up to mains examination but could not clear the interview. Now he is above 60, 63 or 64 years of age, and at that point of time he became depressed. And he is just like a dull person, always bowing his head, moving very slowly, not communicating to anyone. He is there in our colony. Yeah, but now that people are doing yoga in the morning, they will bring him to the ground and ask him to make everyone do yoga. So he is becoming somewhat active. Now that particular thing that I could not clear UPSC examination made him depressed, that I do not have the potential. In fact, this is very important. The moment I become aware of my potential, that I have the potential to understand, I have the potential to desire, think, expect, this is enough to come out of any kind of depression. I have that potential. I only have to utilize that potential. There is no dearth of potential in me, nor in the other also. To be able to see that I have the definite program to be happy. I never feel afraid of becoming unhappy, because I always have the program to be happy, to understand harmony, to live in harmony. If I can see the intention of every human being is fine, I never have grudges about the other. Right? Whatever other person might have done to me, it was out of lack of competence, not because of intention. He or she did not do it intentionally, nor did I do something intentionally to the other. It was only because of lack of competence. So, like all these cases can be, I will say, better resolved once we are able to enter into the process of self-exploration. Then id, ego and superego experiment. So there is a boy called Little Hans. Freud did that experiment in 1909. So Little Hans, a 5-year-old boy, developed a fear of horses. So the Freud's interpretation is that he suggested Hans' fear of horses represented an unconscious fear of his father, related to the Oedipus complex, a boy's unconscious sexual desire for his mother and rivalry with his father. Now he is trying to analyze in that manner. So Freud believed his conflict was between id, that desires attachment to mother, superego, moral restrictions, social rules against such desires, and ego, mediating between desires and reality. The key concept is behavior is influenced by inner conflicts, by conflicts between id, that is the instinctual desires, ego, rational self, and superego, moral conscience. The daily life relevance is like inner conflicts between desires, for example, craving for junk food, and morals, wanting to be healthy. Explains feelings of guilt or inner tension. Now again, we can keep it open and observe that fear of horses, how it has been associated with this particular factor. Maybe it came through some dialogue, right? Then again, the attachment of mother, son towards mother, all this can be kept open and we can observe it. Third is defense mechanism, protective psychological strategies. So Freud's concept was like defense mechanisms are unconscious strategies to protect oneself from anxiety caused by internal conflicts. And common defense mechanisms are like this: repression, denial, projection, displacement, and rationalization. So for repression, pushing distressing memories out of the conscious mind. So forgetting a traumatic event. Now many people have said, in fact in the morning session we hear such sharing, that when I try to look into my imagination and particularly the feeling, I get reminded of many traumatic experiences in the past. Okay, something that I had somewhat denied or tried to suppress, but it is coming again. So something that we are sharing, that let it come. If you try to ignore it, it will never get resolved. whatsoever might have happened, if you are able to see that the intention of every human being is pure, yours was also pure, the other's was also pure. Something happened due to lack of competence, isn't it? So you can evaluate it properly. So like the way we are saying, no, that something is hidden in the gutter by the cover. If you keep it covered, it is going to be always dirty. You remove the cover, let it smell for some time, flush it out. That's better. In fact, it's said about Buddha that when he got enlightened, then he said, Visham kharam gatam chittam. My chit got rid of all sanskaras. So he went into deep meditation, they will call it introspection, right? And he could be relieved from all those conditioning that he was carrying within. All those pains and sufferings and fears and anxiety, just by observing oneself. So next time when you come for the 4-day workshop in the next month, we'll talk about all the Indian traditional psychology concepts that have evolved and how they have tried to address the issues faced by the human beings. So repression could be one thing, I am just repressing it. Denial, refusing to accept the reality, denying addiction despite clear signs. Projection, attributing own feelings to others, accusing others of being angry when you are angry. Now this is a common symptom. In the family it will happen, no? It's not that I am getting angry, you are making me angry. When there is fight between husband and wife, no, a common phenomenon is that. And the wife will say that I am not getting angry, you are making me angry. Yes. No, you are making me shout. Then displacement, redirecting feelings to a safer target. So yelling at family after a bad day at work. So गुस्सा कहीं और था, कहीं और निकाल रहे हैं, है ना? You had a bad day at work and you are shouting at your family members. So let's say you had a bad day at work, you go home, you ring the bell and the door is not open for 2 minutes. Pardon?
Why is to always office to work? Why not work?
Yes, you come from home, the moment you are leaving the home, wife said something, you got completely depressed, you enter the classroom, you started shouting.
Nowadays we can't shout students.
Then rationalization, creating logical excuses for unacceptable behavior, saying everyone cheats after cheating in the examination. Say if someone is caught without a helmet on a bike, they will say, why only me? See, everyone is without a helmet. Why catching only me?
Why all these are, everybody is having all these common.
Everybody is having?
All of us are experiencing all these.
Yeah. So these are the defense mechanisms used by us. In place of accepting that yes, I am at fault and working upon my competence, we try to escape through all these routes.
Straightforward people will not have.
Yeah.
When they are straightforward.
Self-realized people.
Sincere explorers will not have this. If you are exploring sincerely, you will not do all this. No defense mechanism. Okay? If I am at mistake, I am at mistake. Fine. In fact, there is no need for that ego problem, ego issue, that you are trying to somehow rule out your lack of competence. No. So the case illustration is like many of Freud's patients displayed defense mechanism during therapy sessions. For example, they might repress painful memories or deny issues causing them distress. Now this is one thing, it may be the case that each one of us is having something or the other like this, because it will take time. Unless you reach the state of realization or complete understanding in the self, you will have these all issues to some extent, deeper or at a shallow level, little or more, that can be there. So in place of using the defense mechanisms, why not evaluate rightly and then transform? You will find that each one of us is using all these methods. This could be something common to us. So we say in the beginning that I am a co-explorer. Don't assume that I have come to the state of realization. So yes, so I can also be at fault, right? So in place of using any defense mechanism, just accept it that yes, I am the way it is, right? And I have to transform. It may take time. Pardon? Take a mic. Now these are showing how we take this mic Didi.
Nearly 95% of the peoples use this defense mechanism, except 5%. Even the psychiatric, what they say, like whatever signs and symptoms we say abnormal, all individual normal people too have those abnormal behavior. But with that abnormal things, they carry out the activities of daily living where they are differentiating between the mentally healthy and ill. Mentally healthy means that with all those symptoms, if they are able to carry out the activities of daily living, they are considered as normal. Mentally healthy and mentally ill patients, psychiatric patients and normal individual. So whatever symptoms, like psychiatric patients, if you have aggressiveness, even we too have aggressiveness. We too shout at others. Sometimes we suspect others' behavior being normal. The same things we call it as delusion for the psychiatric patient. They have that. Even the normal people will have. But what is the difference between normal and the mentally ill patient is, with those problems, they are not able to carry out the activities of daily living. That means morning they are not able to get up, they are not able to do their work, responsibility. Whereas here in the normal people, they are able to carry out with using these defense mechanisms, and they will be carrying out this.
So the common factor, all of us are mental.
Yes, it is accepted. Yes, it is. That is why the psychiatric is coming. This is psychology. Psychiatric is those who behave abnormally. And
so basically, we all have a certain level of competence and we are evolving the process, isn't it? The good part is, if I start referring to my natural acceptance, I have the process to transform myself. Otherwise, I will be caught up in some loop. Only that it is below a limit or above a limit. So daily life relevance, defense mechanisms explain why people often avoid difficult truths or act irrationally. Isn't it? If you look at that example also, the other broke the glass and the glass got broken by me. It is a defense mechanism. I am not ready to accept my mistake. At the base, I have lack of trust. But I am somehow trying to believe that I am complete, perfect person. The other is not perfect, the other is at mistake. I am trying to blame the other. Recognizing these patterns can improve self-awareness and emotional regulation. So we can observe in our family how many times we use the defense mechanism. How many times we are ready to accept our mistakes or our lack of competence. A common fear is that if I accept my mistake, the other will dominate over me. The other will not accept one's own mistakes and try to dominate over me. So we use this as a defense mechanism. Then let me not also accept. If I say sorry, then all of them are going to point fingers at me. You are always at fault, isn't it? You are always at mistake. We are always right. Then dream analysis and symbolism. Freud's book is the interpretation of dreams. So Freud viewed dreams as a royal road to unconscious filled with hidden meanings. The key concepts are manifest content, what is remembered from the dream. Latent content, the hidden psychological meaning behind the dream. So how you can interpret your dreams, isn't it? I have generally found that when I wake up in the morning, I feel somewhat uncomfortable about certain things, and that is something to do that has happened in the previous day. Some relation remained unfulfilled, or some mistake got done by me, or something has been due on my part which was to be submitted yesterday. So when I wake up in the morning, it is the first thing that I get reminded of. Then attachment and early childhood experiences. So John Bowlby's attachment theory in 1950. Though Bowlby's work later extended beyond Freud's theories, it has strong psychodynamic roots focusing on early relationships. So the key concept is secure or insecure attachment patterns formed in early childhood strongly influence adult relationships and emotional health. Experiment is Ainsworth strange situation 1970. Children were observed when separated and reunited with their caregivers. Findings identified attachment styles like secure, anxious or avoidant based on early experiences. So if they were being given care properly, then they felt secure, right? Otherwise they will feel anxious, or if not given properly, then they were trying to avoid the next time they met. So daily life relevance would be like people with insecure attachment may struggle with trust or intimacy in relationships. Isn't it? So try to find it out. Do we feel insecure in our relationship? Are we struggling for intimacy, trust in our relationships? Modern psychotherapy often explores early childhood bonds to heal emotional wounds. So look into it, all this can help. So a summary of all that we discussed: unconscious and repressed memories in the case of Anna O. So talking about past traumas reduces emotional distress, and the daily application talk therapy processing childhood issues. Then id, ego and superego, the case of little hands, inner conflicts between desires, morals and reality, and it explains guilt, decision making conflicts. There could be various defense mechanisms that we studied, Freud's case studies. So unconscious strategies to reduce anxiety and self protection, explaining irrational reactions. Dream analysis, so Freud's dream analysis, dreams reveal hidden emotional conflicts, interpreting dreams to understand hidden fears. Early childhood and attachment, so Bowlby and Ainsworth attachment. Early childhood relationships shape future attachments, relationship patterns, trust issues and all that are there. So the conclusion out of this whole analysis is that psychodynamic psychology focuses on unconscious motives, early life experience and inner conflicts. Now this could be one subject of study for each one of us. Do we have some unconscious motives? Right. So there could be so many. Try to make it out. With all the exploration that we are doing, but we do feel that unconsciously I have to work for this. Else, for example, one person, he went through workshop and he was attending the morning sessions also. He will do all the sharing, but he will do one common sharing that I want to be a professor before I retire. He is 59 years of age, going to retire the next year, and there are two people who can get promoted, and is somehow struggling with the other, also fighting a legal suit so that he cannot get promoted and he gets promoted. Now he is no longer joining the morning sessions, no longer attending the workshop also, because he is somehow not able to come out of that particular thing, because he is feeling that he is not getting resolved there. But that unconsciously is ruling his all thoughts and behavior. He will talk so many things, UHVD is doing so many good things and that, but at the base I have to get promoted before I retire. I have to become a professor. So though many of Freud's theories and debated, find it out. So as a homework we can see what are our unconscious motives, some early life experiences which are disturbing us, and some inner conflicts, isn't it? Though many of Freud's theories are debated today, they still influence the talk therapy, psychoanalysis and psychodynamic therapy, understanding defense mechanisms, relationships counseling, emotional healing from childhood trauma. So like we are doing that exercise now, so we can find out from every theory if something is applicable to us, something can help us explore further and deeper, so we can utilize that. Nice. So we discussed the structuralism yesterday, functionalism and psychodynamic analysis today. Now with that we'll do one exercise.
Bhaiya,
Yeah.
all we are discussing in this study now, We were like understanding the evolution, all what. But any solutions? No.
Solution is here.
Solution is there, that, but any of these people addressed any solutions? Because enough problems has been addressed. Where the problem comes, all these sources, or we are trying, but ultimately what we are discussing throughout is
Partly
we'll
they are
find any
saying,
solutions.
see, in terms of therapy, partly they are discussing.
Huh.
So they say that if you are able to find out the root cause of your misery and get exposed to it, speak it out, discuss it, then you may feel more comfortable.
People who is hearing next to us will make it more misery then. See, I myself not understanding what's happening within me. That's why I'm not discussing with the other people generally. Because if I myself not able to understand many stuffs, what's happening, it's very tough to explain to the other exactly what I'm feeling, what's happening within me. Because that I were not able to see. But just with the discussion, they will come up only with this solution based on their experience, not the holistic solution like how we are discussing. Any of these theories at least talked about a little solution part, because what we are seeing from yesterday, theories, therapies, I don't see any solutions coming up.
Yeah, that is there. So it's nice that you are concluding by yourself. I did not want to say from my side. Yeah. In fact, once you have gone through the workshops and maybe up to UHV-3, you will not find that much relevant. Right? That is there.
What I feel is, all these theories, all these...
Take a mic.
What I feel is, all these things which we were discussing about psychology are experiments, research. And the solution for this is in UHV. So we are trying to analyze the root cause of the problem. So the therapists can do that because they have studied it and they have understood what could result what. But what is the solution? They cannot come to a particular concrete solution. UHV has that solution.
So the next step is make all therapists attend to UHV workshops.
Yes, sir. We will have to conduct in the medical college.
Yes.
Why it is because the solution is only within.
Solution is within, yes. But
So
I have
that
to
is why
find
these people not
the
able
way
to
to solution also. I have to find the way to solution also. The solution is within. Right understanding is going to be within. Right feeling is going to be within. But how to contemplate on the right feeling?
That is what is the solution which is told after.
Now you can see that a major problem is that if one is not able to distinguish between self and body, then mostly the study is confined to material things and the expression part of it, isn't it?
Sir, question.
Yes, yes.
Sir, whatever here we discuss is like one time it happens in a life when people went into that particular traumatic situation or some XYZ situation. But what I feel is whenever we are in any situation, not traumatic, but situation, if we discuss, we feel little bit lighter. But we don't want any solution. We just discuss and we feel lighter. It happens when I discuss something with my parents, then I feel lighter. With my wife, I feel lighter. But something what to discuss with wife and what to discuss with parents, if that thought process is gone, then in that situation may be traumatic.
Yeah. And another thing, like a better solution could be you discuss all this with a resolved person who can guide you.
Yes, but now when I came here, like from past 3-4 years, I have understood that when I discuss with myself without disturbing me, then it is happening. Like the same solution or nearly same solution is.
So that is repression. Maybe you are either repressing.
No, solution. When we search for a solution, then which one is correct, this one or that one? Like self.
See, the better way is self-exploration. But we are just saying to yourself, it can further aggravate the situation.
Okay, so let me just openly say, like some things I used to discuss with my father. When I try to discuss same thing with my wife, it did not went well. Same thing, some stuffs I used to discuss with my mother. Like this is what is situation, what should I do? And they helped me very well. But again, same thing when I try to do with my wife, it did not went well. So I understood that there are something which need to be discussed here and there are something which need to be discussed here. But now what I am thinking is...
And something which are not to be discussed with any.
That. So when I try to solve it by myself, like let me think as my father and as my mother, and let me come out with the solution. So how it will work like that? So maybe is this like what you are discussing, thought process?
Yeah, let me say that something that we are experimenting with, and that can be taken up among the proactive and active volunteers also. So like in our admin team, we have regular meeting every week where we share our feeling about the other and listen to others' feeling about us. Very well. So there could be so many. Pardon? Yeah. So like while working together, we may have complaints or we may have issues, if not complaints, that this person has this particular habit of working, I have this habit of working, right? And when we are working together, there might be issues cropping up. So if I am not able to speak out my feelings to the other, I am not able to listen to the feeling of the other, how will it get resolved? And many times I am not able to see my own attitude, my conduct, okay, which the other is able to perceive. If I listen to the other, it makes me observe myself more clearly. So in fact, this is very good method also, that if we have trust in the relationship, if we ensure respect in the relationship, and then we have dialogue together, many things will get resolved. In fact, in the family also, what we say that it has to be have parivar sabha, the family meeting, where you can share things.
That should be a conversation, otherwise it doesn't get resolved.
Yeah. And there also no, like it's not that you have to speak first, right? Let somebody speak and just listen. It may be the case that the other is saying so many untoward things which are not there with you. You have not been doing those many wrong things, but the other is assuming about you and sharing. But just listen for 1 hour. Let him or her speak the whole thing. Next time he is feeling lighter. Yes. And then that particular thing, no, association, free association, that will work. So in the relations we can try all these mechanisms also, isn't it? In fact, let me see, just if you note this, we might have this unconscious fear that I speak the truth, it will lead to divorce, for example.
Really what she said is real. Actually what she said, there was one girl who was undergone child sexual abuse where she wanted to be very transparent with her husband. So she revealed it, everything. Since she wanted to be transparent with her husband. But whenever he was talking, he just...
So one of our student, she has undergone child sexual abuse, where she wanted to be very transparent with her husband. So she revealed it what happened during her childhood period. It was one of the relative who sexually abused her. She thought after telling he will be understood, he will be having good relationship. After hearing that, he started to pinch whenever they have any quarrel, he will be pinching that topic and he will be interrelating and will be started to scold. So the conflict became more doubting her husband.
So that may be there. That's what I am saying. Share with a person.
So it is better if she want to ventilate, she can contact the therapist, psychologist, counseling or someone, where if she feels depressed related to that again, instead of sharing to the persons, because unless she believes that that person is okay to...
Yeah. So if you are sharing with a person living with animal consciousness,
that is
then
better.
he or she may become more cruel.
Yes.
That is possible.
Yeah.
That possibility is there.
So
we have to keep it open.
So
try to share. In fact, in our tradition, that's why people share with the gurus. Whatever they have, in all traditions, they will go and share with the gurus. In Christianity, if you see, they will go and tell the bishop, whatever sin you have done.
Now the gurus are becoming abuser, no? So knowing that, because it is really, to be very frank, you see, when I was referring, really it is laughing, it is not saying, even the psychologist, those who are female going with the problems, the males are started abusing, knowing her history. It is really happening. Even we have heard about the churches also and the fathers. Many news as well. So nowadays, to ventilate itself, we need to have confidence, trust we need to have.
So a short solution is exercise 1. You can understand by yourself. Yeah, just observe it.
It is, we need to find.
Just observe it. You'll see, for example, you have some fear. You observe that this is happening. Ultimately what happened? Nothing. The self is continuous, body is temporary. What will happen? Temporary is going to be temporary, continuous is going to be continuous. Nothing can happen. In fact, there is no basic change in the nature. Material remains as material, consciousness remains as consciousness. There is no change at all in those terms.
And one more.
And the two remain submerged all the time.
And one more method, like I came to know, during hypnosis, what they will do. One of the doctor I have observed it.
Little louder.
Yeah, during the hypnosis, what they will do means, if I go with some issues to the psychiatrist.
Wait, Didi is saying something, yeah.
No, see, when you are saying I am not able to ventilate to my father, mother, relatives, no one is there. What exactly happened in hypnosis is, the doctors, when the persons come for hypnosis, he will give a notebook, 40 pages notebook or 60 pages, and he will ask him to write everything, whatever happened from the beginning. So they will be writing it, everything. And after that, once they started to write up itself, 25% will come out. Then the doctors, after reading that, he will be asking questions related to that, and he will tell that whatever is happened, it is not because of you. It is somebody because of you are not the mistake for that. So you need to be free from. Then he will start to make them to lie down, and he will have one point of contact, that black one, and he will be asking them to view that and saying repeatedly, I am not my. They will be relaxing from body to body relaxation exercises will be there. That they will be practicing it. If continuously if they do, they will be able to come out. So in case if somebody is telling you that they have some feelings which they are not able to share, it is better to write, and even if they do not want to keep, they can tear it and they can displace that. That will be a good idea. Thank you.
Yes. So there could be so many ways. In fact, in meditation also, in therapy also, in so many practices also, people have tried to come out of their pains. And a short method is self-exploration. If you can do it by yourself, very nice. If not, take the help of the other. Now, if the other is having right understanding, that will help. If the other is not having right understanding, that may create further problems. So no need to share with somebody who can misuse the information. Share with someone who can rightly utilize the information for your development. That is true. Yes. Yeah. No, she is saying that her pen is stolen, that's all. Now she will have a bad dream today. My pen got stolen. Yeah. Yes, nice. Any other question? Fine. So, having concluded this, now we'll go. Yes.
Sir, without censoring, when a patient is being diagnosed, and he has to reveal what had happened in the dream. But how can I jump into others' dreams and check this is the dream which he had?
No need to jump into others' dreams. If the other is sharing you his or her dream, then you can analyze. See, I am saying if you are clear, see, let me say one thing.
When the patient is not telling it correctly, how the doctor will be able to analyze? That's the question, Ji.
Yeah, so the patient has to at least express oneself clearly. That is there.
Some may not be willing. Some patients may not be willing to.
That is there. That is there. See, when you are sharing with someone also, no, you may not be sharing each and everything. Like, yeah, one may hide. Nice. So having done this, we'll go for one exercise. So we'll go for this MBTI test. Yeah, Supraja Didi, let us share this sheet. So this is a personality test. There are questions. Okay. Pardon? You have to evaluate your personality. Didi, have they been pinned? There are two sheets.
Bhaiya? Here, Vijaya.
Yes.
So are we supposed to take up the test and give it to you, or we need to analyze by
Keep it to
ourselves?
yourself. And then the conclusion should be. If you want to come and share in the front, well and good, or you can keep to yourself. And when you are evaluating yourself, don't try to portray a better self of yourself. Just be what you are and write it down.
Two different papers. Two papers.
Should I help you? महेश जी, you can help. आप मार दीजिए पीछे.